When Ripple Effect Studio said they were going to create a love letter to the Battlefield community, I don't think any of us expected anything this crazy. What we have here is endless content potential wrapped up in a fully accessible, community-friendly environment called the Battlefield Portal. In this video, I'm going to give you an overview of what you can expect with Battlefield Portal. What is it? How do you use it? And what comes with it. First of all, I hope you are enjoying some of the new gameplay we've got access to. Seeing the old school Battlefield Bad Company 2 and Battlefield 3 soldiers fight it out on the same map is something I never thought I'd witness, but here we are. In terms of the maps on show, we have the 7 all-out warfare maps shown earlier at the Battlefield 2042 reveal, and then 6 remakes for this Battlefield Portal. We have the Battle of the Bulge and El Alamein from Battlefield 1942, Arica Harbour and Valparaiso from Bad Company 2, and finally Caspian Border and Noshar Canals from Battlefield 3. All of these maps are at 4K 60 FPS in fantastic upgraded fashion with really nice graphics and a couple of changes that we'll talk about in a minute. We have 40 plus weapons from 3 theatres of war, including the M1 Garand, the Panzerschreck, G3, M416 and more. Also, you obviously get all of the 2042 weapons as well. 40 plus vehicles are coming, including the Spitfire, B-17 Bomber, Little Bird, Quad Bike and of course the 2042 vehicles that we saw earlier as well. And 30 plus gadgets, including the MAV, radio beacon, defibs, EOD bot, and all the 2042 gadgets. You can actually put EOD bots up against the RoboDog. You also get all the factions, 7 different ones, such as 1942's UK, US, and German factions, Bad Company 2's US and Russia factions, and then of course the 2042 factions as well. That's not even the most impressive part though. With Battlefield Portal, you are able to fully customize just about any experience that you can think of, no matter how insane. The Battlefield Builder gives players a complete toy box at their disposal, featuring new powerful tools. 128 player Noshar Canals, anyone? Okay, maybe that one isn't for you, but you can see what I'm getting at. You can make it simple, such as creating a quick 5v5 mode on any map you want. Of course, you can create a server like in Battlefield 5, click on it, create it, private it. There's lots of different options for that. But at the same time, you could just go completely crazy and create something that no one has ever thought about in Battlefield. You could create something just completely insane. I was hearing a story from one of the devs where they said they had this mode on Noshar Canals where when you spawned, you dropped from the sky, the spawns were just in the air, you dropped down, everyone had a Saiga shotgun, the movement speed was increased on all the soldiers, and it was a free-for-all, everyone just blasting each other, and it was just absolutely insane. Again, that might not be for you, but you can create anything you want. Anything in your wildest dreams is possible, trust me, with this, and I'll explain why in a second. The Battlefield Builder is free to anyone and can be accessed via a web browser. From there, you can create whatever experience you want, starting out with simple settings, such as what games are you putting against each other? Is it Battlefield 1942 versus BF3, etc. You then need to choose how many players are you going to have per team. After you've changed the settings to what you want, and refine that experience to kind of how you want it to play out, you can then drop into an advanced visual scripting tool that manipulates game elements called logic blocks. Well, what does this mean? It sounds complicated. Essentially, you can define the rules, set conditions, and specify in-game events. Some examples are seen in the snippets of gameplay we have. We have a couple of different modes here that have been created in that Battlefield Builder. The most obvious change here in one of the modes is EOD bots versus a tank. That is a mode if you wanted to play it. Somebody's created it. You could have 120 EOD bots, I suppose, versus a couple of tanks if that's something you really wanted. You want a classic Noshar Canals TDM on Battlefield 3. You want that old school experience. You can have it. You can create it using that Battlefield Builder. Jet superiority on Caspian border? Sure, go for it. You can have it. You could even pit the F-35 versus the old Spitfire in jet superiority. And I hear you saying, well, the Spitfire sucks compared to a modern jet. Well, you can go and change the settings using the Battlefield Builder and even it up. I've been told that you can quite easily create modes such as Gunmaster using the Logic editor as well, and really the sky is the limit. The exciting thing about this, as I was speaking to a dev earlier in the week, you could potentially create a mode that is going to take the FPS market by storm. This is how Battle Royale was created back in the day. It was a mod created by a fan of the game, as far as I'm aware, player unknown. There might have been other people that created it, but he was the one that really made it popular. In DayZ, he then created PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, essentially just a mode that he had in his mind. He put it together and it became a worldwide phenomenon. Maybe you've got an idea that you've wanted to create for ages. You could make it in Battlefield 2042. Boom, it could be the most popular mode on the game. It then could set a precedent for years to come in FPS gaming. Very, very exciting. And that's something that Ripple Effect Studio were incredibly excited about as well. Here are some rules that you can change as an example. The factions, including what soldiers, weapons and vehicles can compete on the battlefield. You can then alter the mobility. You can change whether soldiers can prone, aim down sight, and even mess around with the speed. The scale of things can be altered, and you can control the number of players per team and limit certain weapons or classes. In terms of the AI, we know they're coming to Battlefield 2042. You can add them to your mode if you want, either just to test it out versus an AI team, or you could create a mode where it's players versus the AI. Maybe you want a zombie infected mode. That is completely possible in this game. You could make one team much faster than the other team. Maybe one team only have defibs and the other team are set to maybe take out as many zombies as they can. And if you get defibbed by a zombie or repair tooled by a zombie or knifed by a zombie, whatever it is you choose, you would then switch to the zombie team. Completely possible in this mode. You could also make the zombies much faster and have much more health if you wanted to. The possibilities are truly endless. Just a side note, we will also have official experiences in this mode with some of the classic gameplay experiences such as Conquest, Rush and Team Deathmatch available on launch. If you don't want to play these crazy modes that people are making, you don't have to. Of course, you can play the other experiences in Battlefield 2042, such as All Out Warfare that we saw the reveal trailer for, or Hazard Zone, which looks like it could be very fun. But you could play TDM on Noshar. You could play old school BF3 Caspian Border Conquest if you wanted to. It will be there. Levolution will also return in Battlefield 2042 in this experience with some enhanced destruction. This means you will get all the classic BF3 destruction that we know and love as it was meant to play out, but on the older 1942 maps we'll get some up-to-date graphics and destruction. Remember, back then they didn't have Levolution or destruction on the maps, so DICE have reimagined them in some parts, made it so it'll work in the modern day, because gaming has definitely moved on a huge amount since then. Overall, this is a community-driven experience. Build, share and discover. Ripple Effect have created something that allows the community to show their own talent off, putting together modes that might just get the best out of 2042. The Logic editor, in my opinion, is a complete game changer, meaning you can literally create anything you want. The fact these experiences will also be curated and the best ones will be highlighted alongside a browser means the best modes will rise to the top of the pile. Ripple Effect Studio also have a tag system, meaning that it will be fairly easy to work out what sort of experience you want to play and pick it out of the browser. Oh, did I mention that the Battlefield Builder is free to everyone? As long as you've got a browser and an Origin account, you can log in and create a new mode. For those not too happy with the specialists in Battlefield 2042, well, you can use the old school classes. You could put the new specialists versus the classes of old. Who would win? Personally, I can't see anything more powerful than a Battlefield 3 medic revive train. So just to finish off this video, a few questions and answers that I'm sure are on people's minds. Firstly, can you gain experience in this? Well, yes, XP is gained in the Battlefield portal and it will carry over to the other experiences. Is there crossplay? Yes, there is. Crossplay is the same in this mode as you'd expect in the other experiences. What is the minimum player count? The minimum player count is 1. You can play just on your own if you want, versus AI if you wanted to. Maybe you and a mate versus each other in a 1v1. Whatever it is you want to do, you can definitely make it happen. The logic editor looks complicated. Will I get a guide? Yes, DICE will provide a Wikipedia-like guide and videos to help people learn, and no doubt the community will provide in-depth guides and videos as well. Do I need a copy of Battlefield 2042 to access the online portal to create a mode? No, you don't need a copy of 2042 in order to access the portal. You can make something for everyone to try whenever you want. Imagine you're on the bus, on the way to work, and you have a brainwave, jump in on your phone and create it. Finally, when can I play this? The answer is in September. There will be an open beta in September. Players that pre-order will get early access to that beta, and hopefully you'll all be very excited to jump on and try Battlefield 2042. I guess I'll leave you with this scenario. Who do you think wins in a battle? A Spitfire or an F-35? Well, obviously the F-35, right? But what happens when you have 100 Spitfires versus one F-35? With this new experience, that is completely possible. We can test all of it out without an issue. The future is certainly very bright for the Battlefield franchise. Thanks for watching. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think of this absolutely insane update coming with Battlefield 2042. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.